today, listen, we have Baltimore's creators, leaders, but this is a change maker. So even though on ARTIMORE I have a lot of artists on here, we're going to do something different today for this episode. Today we have Cornelius Bear McMurray, Pooh Bear for some people, and go back old school. How you been though?
Thanks for asking.
More than welcome. Even though I see him a lot. But yeah, I'm just really proud of this interview because a lot of times, you know, when we think about art, we only think about visuals, you know, creativeness, but creativeness also starts with the kids, and that's who you work with. But before that, we want to get into how did you get started in basketball itself? It's like, how did you get started in basketball itself? And even if you want to go back to like family and you know your origin story before basketball, because you literally push love even when you was a kid. I'm gonna show you some footage I got of you, but you push love. That's always been your thing. Even when you was younger, you spoke eloquently like, I want to make sure everybody know what greatness and love look like.
Respect, man. Thank you first and foremost. I think when I was 7, 8 years old, my mother had a boyfriend. His name was Darnell, and he was cousins of Reggie Lewis. And Darnell would come to my house in Douglas Projects with all his homeboys, Big Vince and everybody, and Bogart the TV want to watch the game. I'd be crying. I don't know, I want to watch cartoons. I said, let's watch the game, Shorty. So one day I don't watch the game, and I got into it. And I kept hearing Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was a kid, you hearing Magic.
Right.
So Magic. And all I knew was Magic. I keep seeing Magic. So that turned me on to the game, and I fell in love with the game from there, man. Yeah, first love.
All right, so what I said I was going to show you real quick, and that's definitely a thing that I'm going to show you real quick. How much pressure was it being called the Michael Jordan of Baltimore, though? How much pressure was that being called the Michael Jordan of Baltimore? Like, a lot of people don't get that title. A lot of people don't, even if they're good, people focus on who they are. They're literally comparing you as a teenager to one of the greats, literally, of your generation. How much pressure was that for you?
I want to say none because I didn't take it on. I didn't stamp myself with that. I wanted to be like a great NBA player. I just wanted to be me. I done this thing called basketball for myself. At a young age, I would be skipping school just to play basketball. You know, doing it for myself, not knowing that I got to be a collegiate athlete. Not knowing I got to be a scholar athlete to be able to succeed. So it was all for me. You know, getting away from my surroundings and just getting that freeness and doing me within inside of me. Like I never thought of going to the NBA like being that great player, and I never wore that stamp on me like I'm the next Steph Curry or the next Michael Jordan. I just been free in me, not knowing I was setting the trend for tomorrow with you.
Yeah, and you definitely was. So speaking of what you just specifically said, right, that you didn't take it on, I'm about to show you the 17-year-old you that I found on YouTube, and I love that you literally are echoing what you said 30 years ago. That's like nerve-wracking to me that what you just said, you never took it on, that was always your mindset. So I just wanted you to look at yourself real quick for a second, because it's really dope to hear you echo the same thing. So this is a little footage of when you was on Shoe City Prep Profile. I'm really proud to say that my kids worked with somebody that at my son's age you knew who you were, though. And a lot of people don't have that in them.
Michael Jordan is doing Chicago Bulls. Dedication in the classroom. Your career is going on.
I'm just really proud of you though, because you just said what you said as a kid, so you believe that. Like, a lot of people don't believe what they say to people. Like, a lot of people don't believe what they say to people. You in your 40s saying something you said as a 17-year-old man. Like, how do you feel? How do you feel that you're the same person? Like, you're not a gimmick. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not a gimmick for the youth. You believe that when you was a kid, you wasn't shelling out nothing that you didn't believe, because if you was saying it for the cameras, that wouldn't have been what you just said. You get what I'm saying? If you were saying it for the cameras, that wouldn't have been exactly what you just said.
You know, I respect. This may seem kind of weird, right, and backwards, but instead of me trying to gain so much success and be great across the world, I wanted to stop everything and just let my community see me work out every day. They got me in the flesh.
Yeah.
They see me in the flesh work out every day. The great Pooh Bear's in our hood. He ain't going out Virginia. He ain't going to DC for workouts. He right in Somerset working out every day. We get to see that every day. They ain't take advantage of it. It was more like, damn, it's right here.
Right.
You know, they praise what they don't see.
Right.
And they praise and they feel what they don't understand.
Right.
You know, so because I'm close and accessible, it was like, oh, it's right here. You know, so I thought I was doing a service, like, my community get to see me, I'm giving it back. Not knowing my time wasted,
Right.
and I won't be able to go be great.
Right.
You know, so Gooseneck started when I was 12 years old, having my whole community follow me, run behind me, like I'm Rocky. Like literally, like I'm jogging with my basketball, and my homeboys in the community just following me. Gooseneck been here for almost like, I want to say, 30 years now. It just got named Gooseneck 15 years ago. You know, my community been following me, homeboys now, everybody, grown men, since day one, they've been backing me.
Right. The people, so basically, what tends to happen is, I'm gonna echo what you're saying, sometimes you gotta focus on who's focused on you, more so than trying to drag the people along. They're gonna catch up. People are gonna catch up when they catch up. How was that when you went to be a bulldog? Like when you went to Bowie, how was that, like that energy when you actually got to college? How was that energy? Did that energy shift just a little bit because you wasn't physically in the city, like you were saying, like when you was practicing and stuff?
Well, it was kind of worse because I went to Oklahoma first, a junior college. I didn't have the grades or the grades for my SAT. So I went to a junior college in Oklahoma, and it was the best thing I've ever done. It slowed me down. It woke me up to a different lifestyle.
Right.
It made me understand what goes on in the fast city. Doesn't even matter. Wearing Timberlands in the summertime, people asking, why you doing that? And you couldn't even ask the question.
Right.
You know, so it's that part. I saw another life, and I was granted to be around nothing but acres of land and no city life. I needed that.
Right.
You know, so
that's a little difference of scenery.
So that 2 years broke me. And by the time I got to Bowie State, all black school, I didn't know how to handle it. Ratio 15-1. I got down there kind of going wild. You know, all my black people down there, it was like the wild thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think 2 months down in the Bowie, my 3rd month, I got structured, got back in that let's go to Oklahoma mentality mode, and I won Bowie State first MCIAA championship.
Yes, we definitely rep that.
Yes,
more than anything, we definitely rep that.
Yes,
being a Baltimore boy, like taking on, like you just said, like Oklahoma stripped that from you. Being in Bowie, you basically in between 2 big cities, between Baltimore and DC, and you have your people that look like you. So that's harder sometimes to separate what you're trying to do from that when you have that, like you just said, accessible to you. When you was in Oklahoma, you had land to look at. Like, it wasn't always a club to go to or a party to hit or stuff like that. But I'm proud that you worked through that, because you still have to have that in your storyline to be able to talk to your kids when they not structured. Because you have 2 kids here that are just like that. My son is who was you in Oklahoma, and my daughter is who was you when you were at Bowie. How do you feel about, because you have kids over the last, 15 years that are now, some are grown, and now you're working with my kids and kids in their age group. How do you feel when you see that your kids, because a lot of your kids are, getting, some of your kids are getting, put into college and, declaring what college they're going to this year. Some of them have actually touched, the NBA. How do you feel about watching your kids get drafted and getting, placed in, D1 schools and being able to say that they're doing that? And a lot of your other kids are like Team Mellow and AAU and stuff like that on the baby level. But how does it feel when you coach them? Because what everybody don't know is you no longer coach, you condition coach, where you actually set your kids up to be great, which a lot of people don't know you shifted from that. So how was that shift from being a coach to being a condition coach?
Well, to be honest, the biggest accolades, excuse me, it's not the guys that go pro.
Yeah.
You know, it's the guys like Michael Leaf, my pride and joy, the face of my program, guys like him who lifted Gooseneck from here to here just off his morale and energy he brings. Michael Leaf was a 9-10-year-old child that walked in my gym but had this energy, this loving energy where the whole community will follow him and the whole community following in my gym. You know, it's kids like that even right now, Michael Leaf, you know, went to college. Basketball is not his end promising game to be great. He had a heart situation where though he had to, you know, put some things to the side, not be selfish. You know, focus on self and his family. He just had a newborn, and you know, he's God's son. You know, he's the product of what did you want in a child. You know, Michael Leaf, he's the blueprint of this program. And those are the kind of kids I put first and far and beyond a kid that go pro. You know, that kind of energy and character go a longer way than the ball, go farther than the ball. You know, so I praise Michael Leaf and the Deshaun Bowares and the Alex Jacksons that came through my program that's so great in the world right now, you know, respectfully.
Okay, so I get that, definitely get that. That means they took more from you than just the game.
Yeah, the game don't stop.
The game don't stop your greatness. You definitely give grit. You definitely give grit. And then knowing that, how did you start to merge what you were doing with Live Benevolent, who you work with daily? My kids are some of y'all students, athletes that go to y'all therapy and meditation and mindfulness. How did that lead to that? Knowing that you see your kids doing that naturally, how did you lead into doing that?
First and foremost, thank you for asking that, and shout out to Live Benevolent. Shout out to Tonisha Williams, Lavelle Allen, and the whole Live Benevolent staff. Benevolent, I appreciate y'all. Years ago, I started Gooseneck 15 years ago. Every other year, a PRP mentor service, always trying to get with Gooseneck. I don't mix business with pleasure. I don't bring that business into my sanctuary. It's my sanctuary, these kids, my peace. So I don't mix business with pleasure. A queen came in my gym last year. We having side conversations while the kids training. She said, Coach Bear, I love your end game. When you talk about your warehouse space and the things you want to do. She said, I think that's going to be great. So Tonisha come in the gym and she's like, you know, I'm a therapist for this program. And because I got a good rapport with her, I trained her son Colin for 2 years. And when I see somebody I love that's in the program, I asked her to set up a meeting with Mr. Lavelle, and the meeting was well. Make a long story short, Live Benevolent have came forth and sponsored Gooseneck, so Gooseneck can do the things I always wanted to do, like give this game to my community for free. I learned this game for free. The great ones taught me this game for free. The great Bucky Lees, the great Sarge, the great Murdoch, the great Lawrence, the great Huggy, the great Mr. Lee. These my forefathers. These are the guys that taught me this game for absolutely nothing. So for me to be in this position and create a brand that my inner city kids can afford, you know, it deters me a little bit. So my goal was to always give it back to my community for free. How I got it, you know. So that was the goal, and Live Benevolent came and made it happen and seen it through.
Yes, I'm really glad about you having that outlet, because being a coach and being a coach mostly full time is kind of hard when money not coming to you directly or coming to your kids directly, or being able to rent out spaces and things of that nature. So definitely glad that you have other leaders in the community making sure that they help you do that. So where do you see your role in the future of Gooseneck? Do you still want to coach? Do you want to end up training one of the kids to be a coach? Whereas though, even if you stop in here and there, like, do you want to keep going? What is the legacy that you want to leave?
I would love to just be an evaluator. I would love to see me come in the gym, summer camps working, 1 or 2 summer camps they're working, and I'm evaluating kids. People call me personally for personal training sessions. Coach, I want you to evaluate my kid. I want to take my show on the road and evaluate players. That's my biggest asset. I'm more of a player evaluator. Why is that? Even with gooseneck training, I don't train just to train or have a book and say, okay, we're going through these steps today. No, I look in that gym and I survey my gym and say, what this gym need? What's the weakness in this gym? This whole gym need a left hand. See, I attack weaknesses and make your weaknesses your strengths. I can look at a player bounce the ball for 10 seconds. I know his whole game. I know what he can work on, his weaknesses and everything. So my thing is evaluation. I'm more of an evaluator than a trainer. I can come in here right now and I'm gonna say, boy, all left hand grind, all we can, finish a left hand to the jump shot, everything that whole gym needed from top to bottom. You know, so it's that awesome.
So where do you saying that you're an evaluator? Where does that lead to you evaluating your kids' mental? Because you do that as well. When it comes to you see them coming in and what they need, or when you see them coming in and they're sad, and you peep that even if you're running late.
Yeah, no doubt.
You peep that even if you're running late, that you pause your day to make sure that your kids are okay, which we walked into this morning. Like you definitely make sure that they okay. If say you didn't see them on Tuesday or Thursday session, but Saturday morning they look sad because something happened at school or happened with mom. We even had our own personal incident this week. But you evaluate what you need to be, and that's not the first time. And thank you for telling me how much you seen my growth, because yeah, I be trying not to be old school black mother. She bring it out of me. But we've had those conversations before where you have stopped all of practice to pull me aside. Like, I know she getting on your nerves. Let me get her real quick. I know she getting on your nerves. Go take a walk, a break, go get something to eat. Literally, that person. Sometimes parents needed to, parents need to coach us as well. How does that feel to know that you can evaluate people, not just from the sport standpoint?
I'm a certified yoga instructor at Penn State and Johns Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
I learned this holistic lifestyle from my coach, Meredith Smith, and his best friend, Uncle Will. They were like the gurus, the goats of this yoga thing, man, back in the day. He moved me in his house when I was 13 years old with his sons, Atman and Ali. They're the founders of the Holistic Life Foundation. So all my yoga knowledge came from the Holistic Life Foundation. My godbrother Atman, I never knew these traits of me, but because he's so in depth, he traveled the world, speaking to shamans, monks, Tibet, islands, things like that. And he used to say to me, "Babe, we're going to these meetings. I need you to turn the antennas down. You feel everybody's energy." And it's like, I never really knew that. And I would go on these meetings like, "Nah, bro, don't deal with him. Nah, bro, not that." And they would take heed. Like, my antenna was always up. I deal with the energy of people, right? To a point where it's almost a gift and a curse. Like, I can feel it. And so I start wearing that on my sleeve like heavy. And I give to the babies in that way. Like, I can feel the energy, and I give into the sovereignty. Like, I don't give into the ego. I strip the ego. I even strip my own ego. I've been a vegan for 9 years, so I strips me. When I see the sovereignty come, I get weak for the sovereignty. I get weak for it, man. I bow to it. People that's humble in this tough world, man. I give it all to them, man. I give it all to them. So I give it to the sovereignty, man. Respectfully.
Alrighty, so tell everybody where we can find you. Tell everybody, shout out your kids if they want to come through, to become new players with you. But everybody know where we can find you at.
Man, you can find me in the heart. You can find me in the soul. When you inhale deep through your nose and exhale out through your nose, the true love, the true breath that's inside of you, that's where you can find me.
Man, bump him talking all that stuff. You can find him at Gooseneck.
You can find me in the physical vehicle. In the physical vehicle, you can find me Gooseneck Basketball, Instagram, Cornelius McMurray, Facebook, Gooseneck Basketball, Facebook. www.gooseneckbasketballtraining.com. You can find us all through the cities. When you put your foot down, 10 toes down, hit the ground running, we outside.
All right, love you. Thank you.
Love you back.
Thank you for my interview. This is ARTIMORE, episode 4. We definitely did that. Like,
No doubt.
definitely did that. I'm so proud of you. But thank you for, extending your love. Even though my family knew you forever, but thank you for extending your love directly to me, not just being my mom's family, but now you mine.
No doubt. Love you back.